They had a really, really slow start to the season against the Yankees, which, I'm sure we'll talk about that, start with Nestor Cortez, who's now hurt after he gave up like 100 home runs and, all that stuff. But they're right back on track. This is what the Brewers do. They are just a good team. And as we expected this season, their pitching is carrying them. Trevor McGill has stepped into that closer role like it's, like Devin Williams never left. The rest of the bullpen looks really, really good. And outside of that opening series, the starters have mostly gotten things under control. And Freddie Peralta especially looks really good this season. So, yeah, I mean, it's business as usual for the Brewers. I hate saying that as a Cubs fan, but man, like if you think back like 20 years, the Brewers were such a bad team for a while. I mean, they were really the bottom of the barrel in the NL Central, and that yeah, the NL Central was bad for a while. Um, but man, ever since those, like those Prince Fielder, Ryan Braun, Ricky Weeks teams, they have just been good for like a decade and a half, and it's really annoying. Um, but I mean, I know you guys have been paying even more attention to the Brewers, so I'll throw it over to you guys.
Yeah, I mean, the main thing with the Brewers now is that they're getting this offense that they've lacked the last couple of years. They've always had a really strong pitching staff, whether you're talking about bullpen and the pieces they've lost there, or in the rotation pieces they've lost there. They always had those guys that can really shut down games and make hitters look silly, but they had hitters looking silly themselves. Now they have Jackson Chourio, who's an absolute stud. 2 home runs today. Guy just can't be stopped. They have him locked up to a really good deal. He is a guy that's going to hurt pitchers for a very long time. He's only going to get better. Other guys, Bruce Turang is also doing really well. Bryce Turang, sorry, he's also doing really well. So getting these contributions, as Yelich tends to be slumping right now, I'm sure he'll return to form and be at least a league average bat to help anchor down this lineup. That's the real difference, I think, with past Brewers teams, is that these guys can really hit the ball and they're going to make a lot of pitchers uncomfortable.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of took the words right out of my mouth, Derek. Of course, we have to shout out Jackson Chourio. I mean, the dude is a legend right now. I mean, we talked about before, right? That I mean, it's not in the same caliber. I think that Jackson Chourio is going to wish that he would be paid as much as Vladimir Guerrero Jr. But I think it's one of those things where the Brewers see his potential, they see his worth, so they're going to want to keep him around for a long time, right? And same with Yelich, right? He's been with the team for quite some time. He's again off to a slow start, but I will say, he's not blowing, it's not strikeout after strikeout after strikeout. He's gotten some singles. He got an RBI single a few days ago. So you know what? It's not like he's producing home runs as he has been in past seasons, but he's not like, I don't want to call it like completely worthless, but he's not completely worthless right now.
You guys are bringing up a good point that the Brewers are winning games again this season, and they're doing it with contributions from guys who aren't their stars. William Contreras is having a tough start to the year. Yelich hasn't been great. Reese Hoskins has been almost a disaster. Chourio hadn't been doing too well until his 2 home run game today, which will probably get him turned around. It's been some of the other guys, Sal Frelick, Bryce Turang, as Derek brought up. It's been, again, this is what the Brewers do. They have just a lot of depth. They bring in guys that can add contributions and lengthen the lineup. And it's just again, they're going to have one of the best bullpens in baseball as they always do. The rotation, once they're farther away from that Yankee series, should continue to be great. And it's really telling that the Brewers are piling up some wins against NL Central rivals and some other good teams. Even without, their best bats, their tradition, the guys you traditionally think as like their stars, doing most of the damage. So, if it comes to pass that Chourio and Yelich and Contreras all start to get hot at the same time, I mean, this might be the best team in the NL Central again.
Yeah. Again, I've said it in every video. I think my boss could probably pay me it's like if I had a nickel for every time I say this, I'd be rich. Only time can tell. So again, who knows? In the middle of the season, half the team could get injured and, it can all go downhill from there. So only time can tell. We'll see.